G'day guys, welcome to Scotch Down Under. I'm Ken.
I'm the cue ball.
And I'm Q-Ball.
Huh?
Oh shit, that'd make me Scott.
Ah, what's going on here?
Yeah, I think I'd rather be Scott.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd probably rather be cue ball too. The
Yeah.
Scott guy's a bit of a weirdo.
And I'm just Ken.
Yeah, definitely no one wants to be you.
So today we're going to go to the Loch Lomond Distillery next to the Loch Lomond, and we're going to have a look of one of their normal expressions.
What's their non-normal expressions?
Oh, it's one like this.
No, under the Loch Lomond name.
Alright, hang on. Do it again?
So this is an 18-year-old of the Loch Lomond expression, and then they've got the Inchmoan and the Inchmoran. So the Inchmoan episode up here we did earlier. Yep, that one up there. Mm-hmm. So this is their normal expressions that they release under their distillery name. And they've got a whole bunch of 10, 12, 15, and then a bunch of other expressions. But then they also have the Inchford, the Glen Douglas, the Craig Lodge, the Cronenford.
Right, that one.
Yep.
I've tried that one.
You tried that one. But they're not actually advertised as official Loch Lomond expressions, but they do all those. And they have about 13 different styles of whiskey that they produce. So this expression is 18 years old, done in ex-bourbon casks. It's 46% ABV, and it is non-chill filtered.
And non-coloured?
And non-coloured. But it doesn't state anywhere on the labelling or the box,
Then how do we know it?
because it's on their website.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And the other expressions, they
Well,
have it listed on.
I mean, it's not like they ran out of room on the box.
I know. So Loch Lomond is in the Highlands, but the actual loch itself is one of the biggest lochs by surface area in all of Great Britain, and it's about 36 kilometres long.
But does it have a prehistoric dinosaur in it?
The Loch Ness. That was
It's still not proven.
no.
We'll walk to the edge of the lake with $3.50 in your pocket and see what happens.
Tree fitty. And as you said before, you remembered it was in a poem or something like that. It's
It's a song.
Yeah, it's a song. Yeah,
By the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
that's the one.
If he starts singing, I'm going to need whiskey.
I promise that's all I'll do.
That's it.
Because I can't remember the rest.
Sounds about right.
And it actually has a whole bunch of islands inside it because it's so friggin' big. The loch contains many islands, including Inchmoran, which is the largest freshwater island in the British Isles, and that is the other expression that Loch Lomond has. The
That's
Inchmoran
where they got the
expression.
name from.
Yeah.
Ah,
And it actually means the grassy isle.
because it's completely barren.
No, it's got grass on it.
Maybe it's bereft of trees.
Yes. Because the other one is the Peat Island.
I was just going with the whole Greenland and Iceland thing.
Oh. As we said in our previous episode with the Loch Lomond Distillery, they have 4 different types of stills. Column stills, a coffee still, normal pot stills, and then they have the Loch Lomond stills.
Oh, so they actually designed and built their own.
They had some guys actually build them for them, specifically for Loch Lomond.
I'd read somewhere about that. Good idea.
Yeah. So the Loch Lomond stills were invented in 1955 by Alison Cunningham, who was actually part of Hiram Walker, who owns Canadian Club.
Right.
Who started Canadian Club. And it's a normal pot still with a large column on it, similar to a column still, and they have plates. And that allows those plates to independently condense the alcohol at different temperatures so they can actually change how they get the distillate off the still. So they can do different flavours.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Technically
Good
not-
subject.
I was
Well
gonna say,
covered.
That's kind of mechanics, not really science, isn't it?
No,
No, it's
Maybe.
mechanical.
It's engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah, because it was invented by an engineer too, so it's engineering.
Again,
An engineering
They have a still
cartoonist.
with stuff that does things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that are different from other ones.
And it produces the stuff that we're not drinking right now.
And they have 6 of those stills. And there was other distilleries that actually had them, and Brook Lady actually got one of the old stills, and they used it, they took the plates out, and they used it for making the botanist gin.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Which is
Recycling.
Yeah.
repurposing.
That too.
Yeah. So back in 1994, they opened their first grain distillery, and it's actually in the same building, and it's one of only distilleries at that time that actually had grain distillation as well as normal malt.
And these guys have their own cooperage too, don't they?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. There's only about 4 distilleries in all of Scotland that have got their own cooperage on site, and they've got 7 full-time coopers.
I was going to say Jameson's one, but they're not in Scotland.
No. And these guys closed a couple of times, and they got bought out a couple of times, and swapped around like the usual thing.
That's kind of par for the course with
It
a
is
distillery
very
that's
much so.
that's been around for 200 years or thereabouts.
Well, it hasn't, because 1814 they only opened for a few years, then they closed, and then there was nothing until it got rebuilt.
It has a history of around 200 years.
No, it doesn't.
The building's been standing for 200 years.
No, it hasn't.
You just said 1814. And it's now 2020.
1814 is when the original Loch Lomond Distillery, north of Loch Lomond, was established. That only lasted a couple of years, and that was gone. This distillery, Loch Lomond, was built in 1964.
Okay, fine. A brand with a history of close to 200 years.
They made 300,000 litres of maturing spirit. Wrapped
No,
up.
no, it got burnt in 1977.
Yeah, I just saw the numbers.
1997.
There was a fire that destroyed 300,000 litres
Litres.
of maturing spirit. So that means it was already barreled.
And they
It's
were
in the
infiltrated by the Chinese.
No, they weren't infiltrated by them. So 2014, the distillery was acquired by a private equity group.
Yeah.
And in 2017, they actually secured a distribution deal in China. And then last year, in June, they were acquired by a Chinese hill house capital. So now it's Chinese owned.
Infiltrated.
Infiltrated.
Taking over.
Pretty much.
Conquered!
These guys are one of only a few distilleries in Scotland that are not under the Scotch Whisky Association.
Is it because they're owned by a Chinese company?
No, before that, they've never been part of the Scotch Whisky Association. These guys like doing what they like to do and bugger everyone else. These guys are the most unique distillery.
So basically, when the Scotch Whisky Association was formed, and I'm assuming at some point they were approached to join and things, and it was like, stuff you, we're going to do this our way.
Yep.
We're not going to live to anybody else's rules.
Yep.
It's very Scottish of them.
I know.
And with their yeah. And with their stills, there was because they're pot stills with columns on top, and they were like Scotch Whisky Association saying you can do this, you can't do that, and they're like, no, we're doing this.
So would they be Potham stills?
Potham stills. Well, they allow them. Yeah, we'll call them Potham stills. I like it.
Okay then.
They call them column pot stills.
My head's velcroed to it.
Straight column pot stills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
As per the special edition of Whiskey Club one that we did with the Inchmo, that was an awesome packaging.
It too comes in a box.
No, the other one came in a tube.
It's made of cardboard, it counts.
Okay. Box is a square, but anyway. Semantics. This is an embossing king. I mean, that is some serious embossing there. No, on the front.
On the top is too, but
Yeah.
I could see that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is
Some serious
layers of texture.
I genuinely thought you were going to go with ribbed fur.
Well, this bit's all embossed as well.
and of course that comes around the side. That's bumpy.
Yep, that's all bumpy.
Jeez, the way you guys are talking about it, lucky you didn't come in a tube.
Ew.
And then it's carried on through the bottle with all the actual
Moulding.
of the establishment and the whole Loch Lomond Distillery. Plus, that's all embossed as well. And it's embossed down here. So, yeah, lots of embossing all over it.
Quality labelling.
Yes. And
you said it doesn't actually say on the bottle as well?
no, I
Chill
couldn't
filter and
find
colouring?
it. Couldn't find anywhere on the bottle or on the tube or the box that it says non-chill filter and natural colour. But if you go to their website, it states it straight on there. I mean, the other one did, but this one doesn't state it anywhere, which I was quite surprised. It's got a nice shape to the actual bottle, and it's nice and green as well, which you don't see too often. And the foil cap is embossed as well. Yeah, really cool, nice presentation.
And I'm assuming it's a cork.
It is definitely a cork.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shall we have a sniff?
Yep.
Lovely golden.
Yeah, we can talk about the colour. It is very gold, hay, strawberry.
Mm.
So this is their non-peated. It's got the Loch Lomond's are non-peated, and they are done in just typical ex-bourbon cast, so nothing.
Honey and oak.
Honey and oak.
Straight away.
It's like a big bowl of oats with honey drizzle on it. Toasted oat.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I haven't actually got really anything off it.
Oh, there's a bit of sweet.
There's a bit of grass in there as well underneath.
Bitterness.
And there's a woody.
Reminds me of grasslands. You know, the swampy type, marshy grasslands.
Oh, personally, I don't spend much time there, so yeah. If you say so.
Oh, the whiskey's made around it.
Yeah. Like I was thinking it smelled coastal, and I was like, nah, it's not the coastal thing. It's like that grassy.
There's no brininess to it.
Yeah, it's
No.
it's more like a grassy swamp type smell.
Yeah. There's something sort of earthy and.
Shall we have a taste?
Yep. Ooh.
Bit of kick ABV.
I got the honey first, and then I got kicked in the teeth.
It's very warm.
And yeah, the ABV doesn't come straight away. It comes in like mid palate.
Oh, that sweetness and like kind of grassiness hangs around after you swallow it.
It's got a nice long finish.
And it is softening into like a more sort of herbal sweet. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yep. So like sweetness out of flowers, not your sugar
Well,
honey type.
no. Floral versus herbal is different. For me.
Yeah, because herbal's more spicy, floral's more flowery.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
More like bright. Must be good. We haven't said anything in a while.
I'll let that one sit on the palate a bit more. It really thickens up. It's creamy mouthfeel. Nice bit of spicy pepper at the end.
Yeah, that you sort of let it sit, that pepperiness really comes through.
But it's real subtle. It's not strong. Like a, it's not like a fresh cracked pepper or anything like that. It's just very subtle.
And that sweetness just rolls through underneath the whole thing.
Yeah.
That sweetness stays consistent through the entire palate,
Yep.
even to the finish.
Swirly. You're seriously expecting it to cloud up straight away.
Some do.
Some do.
Some don't at all.
I mean, it didn't add too much water, but yeah.
No.
More of that grassy, earthy.
Yeah. Just going to say that like less sweet and more of that sort of, herbal and grassy and...
I think mine actually has started to cloud a tiny bit.
Sure, it's not just your fingerprints on the glass.
That's what I'm getting rid of to make sure. It just because I've got less in the glass.
Maybe we should always have an extra glass with just if we're going to do a comparison.
Yeah, but that'll cause fights because who gets to drink that at the end of the episode?
We'll share it. Because
Well,
no one drinks out it. We'll just pour a bit and we're done.
that makes more sense.
Or we just fight for it.
Yeah, I'd rather fight for a full dram instead of a third.
Choose your weapon, good sir.
I can't.
Straight in the jugular.
Come on, laddie!
I won't even do that. It was straight to the jugular with that.
Now that I've added water to it, I do pick up that sweetness quite a bit on the nose. But it hasn't really changed it that much.
That's thinned it down on the mouthfeel.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the topping up as such, but I'm still getting a little oily on the top of the palate.
Yeah, after you swallow it's there. It's on the roof of the mouth. Yeah, it's like sticking there. But as I swallowed it, it was a lot thinner.
Yeah. It's tasty.
It is. I'm getting more of a it's like almost bacon.
Yeah,
On
I
the
kind
nose?
of got something that was similar to it.
Yeah.
Like, not like the... Kind of like when you drink an Octomore and you get the bacon, but it's without the peat. It's the reminder of peat.
Yeah.
Because I got like super earthiness with like a slight bitterness, which reminded me straight away of a peated whiskey, but there's no peat.
Yeah. I think that's what.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes
no,
exactly.
yeah,
That's,
I
that's
agree.
what I was thinking. I
There's-
was like, that's why I was saying almost bacon because it's not bacon, but it kind of reminds you something
Yeah.
similar to bacon. All right, so final thoughts on the Loch Lomond 18-year-old.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
I like the how developed the palate is, and that it constantly changes but hangs around. It instead of just being like it switches from sweetness to like to bitterness and stuff. It will have the sweetness which carries through the entire taste, and then it will
Yeah.
layer on the bitterness and layer on more and more until
You're
you have
getting the
this-
full palate experience through
Yeah,
the
and I
whole dram.
Don't know how they managed just to get it to layer on in steps like that. It's ridiculous. I like it.
Well, it must have something to do with those fancy column pot stills and the normal pot stills.
The stills. Oh, really? I haven't heard anything about them.
You remember that bit that took us 20 minutes that should have taken like 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about that, yeah.
I've blocked that out of my memory already.
Gone.
But yeah, with what you were saying before is there's so many solid characters in it that are reminiscent of some like decent peated whiskies.
Yeah, without having peat.
It's honestly
And-
like they've just gone in and surgically removed the heat from it.
And it's kind of doing my head in. There's no peat. It's like I'm getting this and I'm getting this and where's fucking peat? But having said that, you'd still happily just sit there and just take your time on it. And
Yeah. So you guys know the price of this one? Have a stab in the dark.
I'm going to take a stab.
It is an 18-year-old.
$150.
150.
180. Oh, just times it by 10.
180. Will you be pleasantly surprised you can get this around $100?
I can get it for free now if I hit you hard enough.
So I managed to pick this up for $99, and looking online, you can get anywhere between 90 and 120.
Ah, nice. That's not bad.
That is a really good range for an 18-year-old. Non-chill filtered, non-coloured, 46%.
There's not a hell of a lot of 18-year-old whiskies around $100, is there?
No.
No.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a decent price.
It's
And
a
there's
very
going to
good
be other words for that, but my brain stopped.
But that's a good point. It is a decent price for an 18-year-old
Very
single malt
decent
whiskey.
price.
Yeah.
Because what does the Glen Grant come in at?
The 18-year-old?
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
off the
think
top
that's
of my head.
still a bit up there. I think it's still about 150.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or even look at the Lager 16, which is 130.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Glenlivet 18-year-old I've got there, that's
That's
100,
160,
yeah,
about 150, 160.
Yeah, around there.
So, yeah, 18-year-old single malt, round the $100 jam. Sweet.
I
Yeah.
think the last 18-year-old I bought, I paid $350 for it.
Is it just for an hour or?
As soon as I finished the sentence, I knew someone was going to go there. It was a McCullen.
McKellen, 18-year-old. Yeah,
Yeah.
you paid for that one.
That's worth it.
All right,
Actually,
so
no, it's not. I'm over it now. I'm not a big fan of it anymore.
yeah, it does.
It was my favourite whiskey when I bought the bottle. And then by the time I finished it, I was just kind of like, it's good, but not 370, I think it was.
Yeah, McKellen does great whiskey, but they are way overhyped.
But coming back to this on its own,
What are you going to give it?
taking the price into account, 9.25.
Give it a 9-1.
9-1. I really like this, and being 18-year-old, $100, 9.5 for me. I mean, this is not the first time I've had this, because I did get the neck out of it before I reviewed it, let it open up a little bit, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. It wasn't tight on the neck pour, and the more I've had of it, the more I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, 9.5 for me. So, an average about a 9.25-ish.
Quarter-ish.
Ish.
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 Yeah.
Ish.
I mean, yeah, solid dram for the price. I'm actually quite liking the fact that that little bit of water is not really altering the flavour
No, it did fuck
or the nose. So yeah, I mean that a little bit disappointing because I like one that sort of brings out a bit more character when you dilute it slightly. But
It does it enough on its own.
I'm getting quite a bit more on the nose with that bacon coming out with the water. So I think it does open up a little bit more.
but yeah. But still a solid dram for the price.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm running low on whiskey, so let's
Yeah,
wrap this
yeah,
up
me
so
too.
I can finish it.
So there you go, Loch Lomond 18, all around great bang for the buck. Grab yourself some. Until next time, have a good one.
Thanks for that.
No worries.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
You forgot about the water?
Let's make some cocktails. And...